Welcome back to KTN News Center. We're still focusing on Msambweni by-election, where former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama and Belgut Member of Parliament Nelson Koech were arrested on Tuesday, accused of causing disturbance during the Msambweni by-election. The two leaders were election agents for Faisal Bader, an independent candidate, who were arrested at Jomo Kenyatta Primary School in Msambweni. Muthama and other leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto were monitoring the voting exercise in various parts. I want us to speak to their lawyer, Dunstan Omari, who is in Mombasa. Wakili, good morning.
Morning to you. How are you and viewers of KTN News? Good morning.
Good morning, we are fine. Now, Wakili, you're in Mombasa to attend to that court hearing. Kindly talk to us about it.
What happened yesterday, I was in Kisumu. I was called that my client, Senator Muthama, was arrested. They were brought and they were kept at Port Police Station in Mombasa. All the indications in the morning were that they were supposed to be charged in the Chief Magistrate's Court in Mombasa, only surprisingly to be told that they have been ferried to Kwale law courts. As I'm talking, I've just passed through the ferry. I'm heading to Kwale law courts for where they'll be charged, and we'll defend them accordingly.
All right, and Wakili, what they're being accused of is election malpractices, and this is not a small accusation that has been leveled against them, because yesterday there was a lot of drama, violence, arrest and voter bribery that were reported during the by-election. So what are your clients saying about this, bribery allegations that has been leveled against them?
Brenda, what is there is that any election offences can only be instituted by the IEBC. It is not a preserve of the police. What we are sure is that the IEBC has not preferred charges against our clients. Therefore, they are likely to be charged with the offence of creating disturbance, which is a misdemeanor, which really the state has no evidence at all. What happened? Everybody saw what happened. We shall be looking at the type of evidence that they will have, and we shall rebut any of those evidences that were there. Who perpetrated the violence? It is the side that lost. My clients were agents. My clients were people of dignity. And therefore, it is wrong for the nation to be told that they created any form of disturbance.
But then, Wakili, can you substantiate your claim that it is the party that lost that started the violence? We know that the party that lost is ODM party.
You see, the tradition, every party has a tradition, and it's known for that. So therefore, this type of violence has never been associated with the Senator Muthama any other time. And therefore, we will be waiting for the evidence. Probably the state might be having the evidence. But as I'm telling you, Brenda, it was a way to get Muthama out of the polling station with a view of trying to influence the outcome of the results. Now that the results are out, I don't think they'll be interested to pursue with the matter.
So are you trying to say this is politically instigated?
This is a political contest, and there is no criminal aspect in it. You saw how many governors were throwing stones, how many members of parliament were fighting, how many civilians were brandishing guns. Why now narrow only to Senator Muthama? You know very well Senator Muthama is the chief campaigner for the William Ruto-led section. And therefore, I tend to think that this is political, it is not criminal, and we believe that all these matters are going to be concluded.
All right, let me go by your tweet, by the tweet of your client, Honorable Muthama, and this is what he tweeted. He tweeted last night. So this is what he said: still being held, tilting the playing field through threats, intimidation, and arbitrary arrests will not change the will of the people. Our independent candidate, incoming MP Faisal Bader, is winning with a great margin.
The true reflection, and his tweet has been vindicated. The question of the state machinery being used to intimidate the free will of the Kenyans has been defeated. Where we are saying that let elections be conducted fairly. The IEBC has conducted elections fairly, but the state agencies seems not to understand what they are doing. For example, Senator Muthama the advocates who were in Mombasa tried to get for him a cash bail. He was denied cash bail. Why was he denied cash bail? Instructions from above. That does not stop the will of the people. However, the state will want to use intimidation. Remember, the state now, you cannot differentiate between ODM and the state. And that is why Senator Mudhama is saying that the will of the people will carry the day with a resounding victory. And that resounding victory has been announced by KTN News.
But, all right, we just announced what the IEBC announced. That's why we said that the independent candidate, Faisal Badr, is the winner, not what but we just announced what we were given. All right, so I just needed
you relayed it out of
exactly.
Media
Yeah, I just needed to make
the IBC
Wakili, exactly. Wakili, I just needed to make that clear so that that notion of KTN News announced is not mistaken. It is the IEBC. Exactly. Thank you for that clarification. But then, Wakili, it is not only your client who has been arrested. We also have Belgut Member of Parliament Nelson Koech. We also have police saying that they're looking for other coastal members of Parliament another person who's only been identified as John Kiarie. So it's not only your client who is in this problem.
You will see that all the people being sought for are coming from the political side of the deputy president. This is an offense called affray. Both people don't fight alone; they fight with others. So therefore, they are supposed to be arrested from both sides. But the selectivity of the people being arrested is what we are asking. Why should the state machinery be selective on who they are looking for? Why look for members of parliament from one wing of the political divide? Let there be fairness and let everybody face the law.
So you're saying that that state machinery, what you're terming as state machinery, is favoring the other party, the ODM party, political agents who are actually at the polling stations?
There's no difference between ODM and the state. Remember now, politically, everybody knows the position of ODM. The candidate who lost was a state candidate. And therefore, all the state machinery was geared toward. Look at how all the police officers, all the state officers in charge of security were transferred a night before the elections. Where does that happen? But still, the will of the people has carried the day. So we are saying, when Raila Odinga puts it very clearly that the outcome of the Msambweni election will be a key pointer towards 2022 and towards the BBI referendum, it is very clear that let the state know the will of the people override everybody. You cannot stop what the people have preferred to do. Similar, Trump tried and it failed. The will of the Americans was clear with Joe Biden.
So what you're telling us that the election in Msambweni, it was about numbers and agenda-based, issues that residents of Msambweni want their elected member of parliament to handle.
They have their own local issues, which were not given any preference because the political parties that were contesting came out with the national issues. The BBI is not a local issue. The question about 2022 is not a local issue. Raila Odinga put it very clearly that this, if they lose, it will jolt the outcome of the BBI. Let us see if they'll abandon it. But all I'm saying, I am going to Msambweni as an advocate to represent innocent clans who have been arrested.
Right.
I am not here addressing the nation as a political analyst.
Right.
I'm only saying that the rule of law should apply and the state should be impartial on how they handle election matters so that we do not have people being charged on trumped-up charges.
All right, thank you so much, Wakili. Dunstan Omari speaking on the arrest of former Mudhama Senator, former Machakos Senator, Johnston Mudhama, and also Belgut Member of Parliament, Nelson Koech, and others were arrested yesterday. But then now, we shift our focus to another big story of the day that is happening here in